to Bad Larry.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Bad Larry Kingdom. I'm your host, Bad Larry, and today is another 2-for-1 episode as we explore Moon Knight, issue number 2 and number 3. Admittedly, I'm not as familiar with Moon Knight, his allies, or his rogues gallery as I think that I should be, so this adventure is brand new to me. And before we kick off the review, let's rate cover number 2. As you can see, I rated this cover a B+. The art, to me, is actually appealing. It's just the oversaturation of white. Tigra is actually the focal point of the cover, which, in my opinion, it should be Moon Knight. Now, on to the issue. This issue is titled Reborn. Moon Knight recently died, but the moon god Khonshu resurrected him. Currently, he has a little street team, and they're trying to get the streets rid of a new and very addictive drug called glitter. Achilles Fairchild is the sole pusher. He's the kingpin of glitter, but getting to him is proving to be a challenge. Moon Knight has collected a sample of the glitter drug and has taken it to Iron Man to help deconstruct it. The issue is that glitter is a mixture of chemistry and magic fairy dust. Iron Man says the only man who's truly qualified to help him, the best biochemist on Earth, well, that guy's Hank Pym, aka Ant-Man. And everyone believes that Hank Pym is deceased, but surprise, he isn't. Here's the heart-pounding street action that you need. Moon Knight has a little sidekick called Hunter's Moon. They are both on the tail of a couple dealers known to be peddling glitter. Who is old maid in the back seat wearing the gas mask? And why is he wearing a gas mask and not the other two? All will be revealed. The driver thinks he's gonna run Moon Knight over like it would be that easy. Moon Knight pulls the Olay move, revealing 8-Ball ready for his corner pocket attack. I have to chuckle a little bit. I know absolutely nothing about this 8-Ball character other than he looks ridiculous, almost as silly as the dude with the eyeball head. Anyway, let's just roll with it. 8-Ball hits the oncoming car with his little pool cue, and voila, the car flips over. Crazy. Anyone want to fill me in on this guy? Moon Knight and Hunter's Moon are about to beat the brakes off the passengers to get the juicy glitter intel. Well, old mate who is riding in the back seat must be an old foe of Moon Knight, because he's talking crazy to Moon Knight, saying, let's get sexy, let's get it on. Boy, Moon Knight has some crazy characters in his gallery. This freakazoid is called Cubist, and he emits pheromones that messes with your senses, your equilibrium, depth perception, and all of that. Moon Knight has clearly dealt with Cubist before, but not Hunter's Moon. 8-Ball has already fallen down. He's out for the battle. Cubist was sent by Achilles Fairchild as a message to Moon Knight to back off. And trying to actually hit Cubist? Well, that's a tough endeavor. Hunter's Moon is swinging at shadows like a super drunk person trying to fight. Cubist easily tosses Hunter's Moon about willy-nilly like a big brother tossing around little brother. Cubist, though, was told not to kill them for whatever reason, but he can't continue fighting Moon Knight much longer either. He can't risk Moon Knight actually getting a hold of him, so Cubist bounces. Well, that was fun, but didn't our hero team get any further along? Just got him a little beating. Moon Knight says Fairchild is a unique criminal. Fairchild doesn't seem to have any other motivation other than doing business. And I learned here that the building that they're using as a base is called Midnight Mission, which is an alive haunted house building that communicates with Moon Knight. Weird. Moon Knight has some real short-term issues that he has to deal with, but his team are asking the long-term questions, like when they do get the glitter off the streets and they do cut the supply off, what are they going to do with all these junkies that are hooked on glitter? as the addiction is super duper gnarly. And cutting these people off from glitter cold turkey could be a disaster as well. Well, Moon Knight is apparently not thinking that far ahead. We also learn that he's started up a sexy time relationship with Tigra here. But there's also about to be some drama for your mama with that. Moon Knight needs to take his mask off for this one. Why don't people just get to the point in these situations? They dance around saying a bunch, but saying nothing at the same time. Mark is going on and on about how great Tigra is, blah, 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 when the enemy is making their way onto the base. The enemy in this case is a corrupt unit of the police. The lady cop leading the way is a junkie hooked on glitter and totally being controlled by Achilles' Fairchild. Mark grabs Tigra's hand and he still hasn't spilled the beans to her yet. As the corrupt cops are about to bust into Midnight Mission, Mark finally spills the beans to Tigra. Tigra's former lover and the man she's called father to her child, the man Tigra believes to be dead, Hank Pym, well, he's alive. But first, we gotta deal with these coppers. I am enjoying this Moon Knight series so far. The art matches the mood, nothing is overcomplicated, it's fun. Before we move swiftly on to issue number 3, hit that like button and subscribe to never miss an episode. Issue 3 is titled Pathfinder, and we pick up directly where we left off in issue number 2. Cops just busted in. Moon Knight reveals to Tigra that Hank Pym is alive, and they need to find him to help with the glitter drug, maybe how to offset its effects. But first, let's rate the cover for issue number 3, drawn by David Parator. I rated this one an A. This is what I imagine when I envision Moon Knight. The hero in nearly all white, soaked in his enemy's blood, holding an enemy all cut up from his little crescent moon blades, and is about to spill the beans. The enemy's face is in horror. I love it. We were introduced to this bald-headed black lady in issue number 1. Her name is Carver. She is ex-special forces for the Roxxon corporate military, which is also heavily involved currently in the X-Men series. Carver carries a big-ass magic sword. Carver plunges her big magic sword into the haunted house building, effectively killing the building. Mark can immediately tell that something is wrong with Mission. He feels his connection to it is severed. Mark finally realizes that his old haunted house friend is dead. The walls are now just walls, but no time to mourn for the house. The corrupt cops are here, guns drawn, doing their "you're under arrest" as a NYPD. You can't just arrest superheroes. That never works out for the cops too well. Mark is pissed. He's blaming the corrupt cops for killing his magic house and orders Soldier to attack. He gets masked up. It's Moon Knight's crew versus the corrupt cops in an all-out brawl. Now that Moon Knight's house is dead, he must find a new path to go down, hence the title of the issue, Pathfinder. Soldier and Tigra are kicking ass, allowing Moon Knight to snatch up the female corrupt cop called Detective Frazier. Moon Knight is about to kill this corrupt junkie cop when Hunter's Moon stops him. I guess Moon Knight will deal with her later. There are too many cops. They need to bounce. I do enjoy learning on the go, not always Googling everything about every character, allowing the writer and the artist to help me decipher the characters. This black girl called Reese, I guess she can turn into smoke. That's a pretty cool power. Moon Knight and his allies fight their way out onto the streets. But when there is just one cop down, 100 more are on the way. Especially out in New York, those boys in blue are eager to use their nightsticks on somebody. The Mission haunted house could apparently transform itself, and before Carver killed it with her big magic sword, the house created an escape hatch for Moon Knight and his team. But where will they go? If I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times. In New York City, when your base is overrun, you go live with the Ninja Turtles down in the sewers. This is a cool vibe. The heroes running literally for their lives. The cops in hot pursuit. Moon Knight leads them to an underground lair belonging to one of his enemies he had dispatched many moons ago. You see what I did there? Unlike his former haunted house home, this current base is more of a tomb than a mission or a home. But it's what they have for now, as Reese can see the decaying body of Moon Knight's former victim, the crescent moon blade still sticking out of the body. Moon Knight's pep talk to the team is a bit grim. They've been driven out of their home and territory and are now fugitives from the law and are no closer to stopping Fairchild's drug monopoly of glitter. The team is super confused to why the cops are even after them. Like, what are their charges? The news lady is spreading fake news like they do. She reports to the public that Moon Knight and his team are the drug dealers supplying the city with glitter, which is clearly a lie. I enjoyed these two issues. They were fun, and the cliffhanger makes me excited for issue number 4, out January 25th. So tune back in then to find out what happens next. Let me know your thoughts on the start of this new Moon Knight series, and until next time, be good to one another. Peace.